Hi, my YouTube family. This is Melody from Home Garden and Fashion. I thank you so much for being here today. Today, we're going to have a wonderful time together. Hi, this is Melody from Home Garden and Fashion. I hope all of you are doing okay during this lockdown. Today, I'm going to do a story. And this story is about a king. This king was very mean, evil, and greedy, and his name was Juna. The king literally took over the entire world. He had so much money and power and all the things he needed, all the servants and most of the kingdoms, and nothing made him happy. So he kept always thinking that how he can have everything in the world, every single thing in the world. And he just did not have any contentment. So one day while he was in the forest, in that forest there was beautiful deers, and the king had killed just 7 deers one after another. And there was a yogi who was sitting under a tree and meditating, and as he saw those 7 deers hunted down by the king, he was very sad and upset. So he went to the king and asked him that why he killed the 7 deers, because those deers were not hurting him. So to this the king said he just killed those deers for fun, and with those deer meats he's going to have a feast in his kingdom. And at this, the yogi was very sad and upset and a little angry too at the king, and how disrespectful, arrogant, evil the king was. And then the yogi said that the god will punish you horribly one day, king, for doing such evil act on others' lives. At this the king laughed. He said, I don't believe in God. I do not pray for God. And he said he was a believer of demons, and he believed in demons, and he prayed for demons. His god was Lucifer. So at this the priest was very sad, and he made a prediction for the king, and he said there will be a time when you will need God desperately. And king laughed, and then he was very angry at the priest, so he hurt the priest a lot, and the priest lay down there for many days until he regained his consciousness, and slowly he became okay with his health, because priest did a lot of meditation. He was in very good health and with good vibration, but he was worried about the king and his rude, nasty, disrespectful, horrible, despicable behaviors. So the king came home, and it did not matter how much money, how much power, how many things the king had. The king could not do a simple good things for the universe, for the world. King kept doing bad things. So king and the queen was as well bad as the king, and they were like both together cooking up bad plans. So they had 2 girls and a boy. three children, and they raised their children to be evil as well, because the children were learning from the parents. And so the king set out a word to the entire world, to the entire universe, that king was looking for like-minded people who would like to take over the world. And to the king's surprise, there about 100 people came, and this 100 people were like just like the king, and they were all evil and greedy, and they were all praying for the demon, and they had many horrible, despicable rituals and things beyond people's worst nightmare. So the king had his team ready, and they sat for days and nights and months to cook up a plan for the entire world, how to take over the entire world, take over everybody's money, wealth, freedom, happiness, health, everything. So king cooked up a plan with 100 like-minded people, and they planned that they are going to have little tiny little mosquitoes, which they created using many scientists and doctors and people, and they came up with these mosquitoes, and they filled these mosquitoes with serious diseases. And these mosquitoes were the tiniest mosquitoes, so they can get through anything. And then they plan that they will release these mosquitoes to all over the universe, and these mosquitoes will bite people everywhere all over the universe, and people will get very sick with all kinds of diseases, and they will all die. And then the king and his team of 100 greediest, nastiest, evilest people will have everybody's money, all the land, all the resources, everything. So they did as they planned, and soon people started getting very sick because of these tiny little mosquitoes biting, and they were very much itching and burning. And then people are developing rashes and fever and cough, and they could not breathe. So slowly everywhere people are dropping and dying started. And it went on for a few months. Everywhere, all around the world, people were extremely sick. Then, with his team, king came out with some horrible medicine, and then he forced the people to take the medicine. The medicine was even more painful than the disease itself, but people had no choice, because as the disease progressed, the king shut down the entire world. When the entire world was shut down, then all the people were suffering. They had no money, no job, no food. So suffering was so much, to the point then king came out with the medicine to cure the bug bite, and then told everybody, whoever will take the medicine will get a plate full of food, and whoever won't take the medicine, they will get lifelong imprisonment. And king had created big prisons. There are many people who took the medicine, and when they took the medicine, the cure was even harder than the disease, so they instantly died. But there were people who did not take the medicine because they knew either way death was imminent. So they hugged each other, loved each other, and just treasures those few good moments, and they together pray to the God so that they could come back in another life in a better place with the same family together and continue the journey. They knew that death wasn't the end of life. Life continues. This is the death of the body, and we change the body, and our soul continues the journey. So there were half of the world's population were dead, and half of the world populations were imprisoned. After they were imprisoned, king forcefully put the medicine on them, and they died too. So everywhere there were nothing but dead bodies lying everywhere. And now the king and his evil, monstrous friends did not think of the outcome. They just thought that we will have the entire world and all the money and all the jewelry and all the things, resources, and they could be rich forever. But never it crossed their mind that all these people dead, what that will create. So as there were dead bodies lying all over the road, everywhere, every house, every corner, king did not have the resources to put these dead bodies underground. King did not have the land to put these dead bodies underground. Once they started putting, that took years after years after years just to bury the dead bodies. The ones weren't buried, they were so smelly that it poisoned the entire air. And those 100 people who thought that they will rule the world, have all the money, all the luxuries, everything, they all gotten seriously sick because of the smell of decayed body, and the diseases were so much flooding everywhere that those 100 people got sick with billions of diseases. And those flies, the flies they let go, the flies they created, those flies were roaming around on dead, decayed body. And after those flies came and started biting those 100 people because there was no one left to bite. So these 100 people, the evil people, had the worst imagined death possible, and they did not have food, they did not have clean water, they did not have clean air, they did not have clean place to live. They had the worst imaginable death possible, and they all died. And when they were dying, they were asking for water, air, food, screaming. And that time the Yogi was walking around with his little pot of water and putting water to everybody's mouth. And when he reached to the king, the Yogi was very tired, very thirsty. Somehow he dragged his body, and his vessel had very little water left. And he came to the king and he said, "King, my vessel have very little water left, and I am so thirsty and so tired." And king was screaming for water, water, please give me some water, Yogi. Then Yogi poured the last water on king's mouth. Then king said, "Yogi, I have done such a bad, evil job in all my life. I have killed everyone, and still you gave me the water without keeping it for yourself, without drinking. What makes you so different from me? I have the whole world, I have all the money, all the jewelries, all the gold, all the servants, all the cars, all the airplanes, everything there is to have, I have it. But what makes you so rich? Then the yogi said, O king, you have everything, yet you have nothing. And why you don't have anything? Because you don't have a soul. Your soul is full of hatred. There is no love. A soul's characteristics to love. A king's job is to love everybody. If you were the richest man in this world, then why didn't you open your heart and love all the people? Why is your heart is full of hate and killing of everybody? Why can't you change that to love? Why do you worship devil? Is the devil coming today saving you? No, king. Devil has engulfed you and your entire family. Look around yourself, king. What do you see? All you see is dead bodies, crying, suffering. All the air is poison, the water is poison, the land is poison. Are you happy now? King, do you think you have it all now? No, you have nothing. Why you have nothing, king? Because you don't have love in your heart. Everything begins with love. So open your heart and love. But this was too late for the king. King closed his eyes and died. And then there was a big job for the yogi to save the world. So the yogi cried, said, "Oh dear Lord, please give me the strength. Give me the strength to save everybody. Give me the strength to give everybody life. Give me the love to wake up all these people." And the God gave the yogi the love, filled up his vessel with the water of love, and he put that water to everyone's mouth, and he woke up the entire world. And then he loved everybody, hugged everybody. And the evil man with all the money, all the evil, all the power perished for good. And all the people came to life, and they started a beautiful life again. They started cleaning up, helping all the sick, bringing everybody to help. And they started gardening, growing fruits and vegetables. Of course, the hundreds of evil people, the one wanted everybody dead, died the horrible death from the bite of the same flies, the insect they have created to kill all the world. They have died. It was the death of the sin, because they were the sinner. So the yogi prayed and buried all those sinners and started a new world with all the people. And the people did gardening, grow fruits and vegetables, and lived happily ever after. And yogi installed love in everybody's heart. Love is the most crucial thing. So the yogi installed love in everybody's heart. Everybody started together, loving each other, hugging each other, consoling each other, and starting a new life. They grew fruits and vegetables, and they all lived happily ever after. And they made Yogi the king, because Yogi was their savior. He came, and once they made Yogi the king, they saw that Yogi was actually Lord Shiva, who came to save the world from the demon. He was sent by the God to save the entire world, and he did save it. So each time when there's demons takes over the world, God never forgets to send a savior to save the entire world, and the world can only be saved by love and by taking care of others, be kind to each other, and just be together and cherishing this life. Just like we cannot count the sand on the sea, just like we cannot count the leaves on a tree, just like we cannot count as many trees on the forest, same way we cannot count the people on this earth. There are many people, many animals, many ants, but the God made the earth such a way we all can live happily ever after, and there is never any scarcity or less of food, water, or thing, because all the trees have full of fruits and vegetables, and those fruits and vegetables have so many seeds that we could grow ever and ever and ever, and it will never be less. World has so much land. We can all make little small huts and lives for happily ever after. Thank you so much. Sweet dreams. I love you all. Love everyone. Love your neighbor. Love your family. Love your friends. Spread the love. Love everybody. Love what saves the world. Pray to God, not to the devil. Thank you. I love you all. Bye bye. Sweet dreams. Hi, thank you so much for being here today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, comment and share this video. Thank you. May God bless you all.